There you go. Yeah, nice size brown.
The 1/16 ounce mini jigs or ball heads, a little bit easier to cast.
On a super tube.
Oh, there we go. Oh, man. I'm gonna file an assault report. There we go. In the real shallow water. He's real upset. That's a decent sized one. That's a nice size one. Oh. Kind of looks like a cut the way he's spotted up. Kind of looks like a cut. It's a rainbow, but
Idiot!
he's got a lot of spots on him. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, because American has a little puddle jumper to Midland. Yeah. Yep. Oh, there we go. Oh, man. I'm going to file an assault report. You guys are all witnesses. That fish tried to slap me.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, decent sized one on Jack Frost. There you go. Nice little fish. This guy ripped it. Oh, it's brown.
Is it a brown?
Yep.
It's a female. That's why it's not all.
I can't get him. There we go. Yeah, nice size brown.
All right, ladies and gents, I want to take a quick break from the action to show you what's going on out there and how I'm getting onto these fish. As always, I'll start with the rod and reel I'm using out there. This here is a 7'6" ultralight spinning rod, and I have it paired with a 1000 series reel. This is a Katana spinning rod. It's a custom rod that's designed for throwing these ultralight baits like mini jigs and ball head minnows. And this is a Shimano Vanquish 1000 SSSP. Really, really nice setup. Very expensive setup, but you don't have to have this real expensive equipment. You can get by with any ultralight spinning rod as long as it's 7'6" in length or 8 foot, and any 500 to 1000 series reel. Now, what's most important when you're trying to throw these ultralight baits like this is your casting distance. And if you got a decent sized rod and an average reel, the most important thing is your line. And what the line I have on here is Sinister Strand premium fiber braid in 4-pound. And then I run that up to a fluorocarbon leader of new Sinister Strand fluorocarbon in 4-pound. If you're new to throwing mini jigs and these ball head minnows, you don't have to start out with the braid. The braid can be a little bit tough to use if you're not used to it. It takes a little bit of know-how, and there's a lot of things you got to watch out for because you can get wind knots very easily and that kind of thing. Even though the braid casts probably the best when you're throwing these light baits. But if you go with a 2 to a 4-pound fluorocarbon or even mono, you can cast some of these, like say the 1/16 ounce mini jigs or ball heads, a little bit easier to cast, and you can at least get a taste for throwing these types of baits and figure out if that's what you really want to do. If you get into it, then you may want to invest and start trying the braid and the fluorocarbon leaders and all that stuff. But in the interim, if you just want to try it, you know, in between bait and weight and drop shotting, throwing some jigs, you can easily get away with 2 to 4-pound fluorocarbon on any spinning reel, as long as it's, you know, 500 to 1000 series reel, and your rod is an ultralight rod, at least 7'6" in length, or up to 8 foot. Now let's go to the bench, and I will show you the baits that are working out there and how I rig them up. All right, guys, show you a couple of the baits and how I rig them up. These are the two that were working the best out there. These are both Golden State Fishing mini jigs. And the first one here is Jack Frost. It's kind of blue and a clear with some silver sparkles in it. And this one is a Goldfish with the gold back and kind of the whitish other side. Both are real good baits, especially for me. I have a lot of confidence in both of these, especially the Goldfish lately. It seems like everywhere we go, from Montana to SoCal, they love this thing. And Jack Frost is one of those baits I use when I know the fish are around, and I've already caught a few, but the bite seems to have slowed down. Usually when I put on old Jack Frost, it picks right back up. So a really, really cool color to have, even though it doesn't look very natural with that turquoise or teal blue on there. But the fish just love it in all different kinds of water conditions. Now the jig heads that go inside these tube jigs are two different sizes that we mainly use. This one's a 1/32, it's a smaller one, and the bigger one's a 1/16. And the 1/16 was the one that was most effective, and I'll show you that in a minute. But usually when you're fishing shallow water, you're going to want to start with a 1/32. But on this day, the 1/16 seemed to be working the best. So I'll show you how I rig these up. And there's two ways to do it. And typically what I do is I start with the eye of the hook, and I'll go through the bottom of the skirt. And these tube jigs are hollow. So you just slide carefully the lead in there without ripping the jig, and just inch it forward. And then you use your thumb and push out the eye, and it sits right like that. Now the other way to do it, let me pull this back out without tearing it, is to use the hook side, the point of the hook. And this is real effective if you are tied on and you want to change your jig colors on the fly. So what you want to do is you want to insert the tip of the hook near the top, but on the side a little bit, because you want it to end, the end point to be where that eyelet's going to stick out. So we go right on the side here, carefully puncture it, and then slowly guide that hook, if I can do it without repuncturing it, through the middle of the tube till it comes out the bottom of the skirt like that, and then you carefully slide the rubber jig over the weight without tearing it. And these Golden State jigs are very durable, so this is very easy to do, and I've rarely torn one. And then it sits right there, the eye of the hook's right there, and you're all set. Now, if you want to change your jig color or your jig itself, and you're still tied on, you can just peel back the head and expose that lead, and then just carefully slide it back off and carefully guide the hook out, and then your jig's just fine. Simple as that. All right, guys, now it's time for the most important part, is how am I catching these fish? And as you can tell by the title of this video and some of the clips earlier, I am fishing in very, very shallow water. So the trout are up real shallow, and I'm using a fish finder on my kayak, obviously, but it's basically useless in this depth of water because it's so shallow. A fish finder, when it transmits out, it sends out like a cone. And the deeper the water goes, the wider the cone gets. But the more shallow it is, it doesn't have a chance to expand. So I'm only marking an area that's maybe a foot wide in each direction. So I'm not really seeing many fish at all. I'm just seeing the depth and the water temperature, basically. Typically, when you're fishing shallow water, you're gonna wanna start with a very light mini jig, like a 1/32 or even lighter, like a 1/64 ounce, and work it super slow because the water, like I said, is very shallow, and you don't want your jig ended up in the bottom because it'll get hung up on weeds and mud, and the fish aren't really digging them out of the bottom either, right? So we start off with that, but we're not getting any bites. So we have to switch up our speed a little bit. But a 1/32 or 1/64, if you try and go a little bit faster, it's gonna pull that jig up too high too quick, and it's not gonna stay down low where your strike zone is potentially. So you move up to a 1/16 ounce. And what I'm doing is I'm basically throwing that out and not letting it sink at all and starting my retrieve, but doing it much faster. And that's what ended up working. And you kind of got to think, why are the trout in so shallow? The reason maybe is what else would be in shallow water? Well, bait fish or things they could eat, small aquatic creatures, right? Whatever they're chasing, potentially minnows, might be moving faster than normal because there's no drop-offs there. It's very flat, real gradual incline up to the shore, but shallow. So if the trout get in there after those minnows, they have nowhere to hide. So they're probably moving around pretty dang fast trying to get away from all these big trout, right? So if you work a jig really slow, you may get a trout here and there, but if you work a jig faster, it's probably going to imitate the speed of those minnows that they're feeding on, and you're apt to get a lot more bites, a lot more consistent hookups. So that's basically the theory I'm going with, and especially the way this day worked out. Everything seemed to be, they wanted it close to the bottom, but faster than we're typically gonna fish. So now I'll show you this clip, and you can see I'm out there fishing, but I want you to pay attention to a few things. So first thing you can see is that my reel speed is a lot faster than normal. I'm not burning it back like I have done in some past videos, trying to provoke a bite, but I'm going just fast enough that I'm keeping the bait just off the bottom, but close to the bottom. And at a speed that they seem to like and looks natural to them, like the bait fish or whatever aquatic creatures they're chasing down there. This clip, we're in 3 feet of water. My rod tip is slightly up, and that also helps keep my jig from running into the bottom. And as you can see, I'm just continuing this process until right there I eventually hook up. And that's really all there is to it. When you're fishing jigs, spoons, spinners, any kind of moving bait, even drop shot, speed sometimes makes a huge difference. Sometimes they want it extra slow, sometimes they want it faster a bit. So just some things to think about. Don't try to overread it, and you should be just fine. So let's get back to the video and see how the rest of the day shook out.
Oh yeah. Kind of look like a cut. Yeah, I think it's a big cutty. I just can't quite see it. Yeah, it looks like a cutty.
Cutty.
Big cutty. a real big cutty. Nice. Super tube, son.
Right?
That might be 6-7 pounds. Big cut.
Big cut, you guys. See that? On the super tube. Goldfish.
Really excited one. There you go. Nice chunky one. Good Lord. Real nice bow. I'm drawing that goldfish. Chunky bro. Go. I'm gonna see what it is. Can't really tell. Might be a cutty the way it's flopping around. Well, it might be a cutty. Nice cutty. Real pretty cutty. All right, well, there you have it. Unfortunately, that's the last Sierra video for this year.
No! God, please, no!
Season's over now. I felt it was important to put this one out because the techniques that I was doing in this video translate directly down here to fishing for stock trout here in SoCal. As some of you know or may not know, the water at Crowley Lake is a bit murky compared to other Sierra lakes. A lot of areas have a sand or a mud bottom, very similar to the lakes we fish out here. So when it's clear enough that you can get away with a mini jig, you will find sometimes at certain lakes, like Hemet comes to mind, out by the launch area or the marina. There's a point out there, very, very shallow for a long way, and most of that lake in the front isn't very deep at all. I think it's only about 9 or 10 feet out in the middle. This technique, working a 16th much faster, may very well work in that circumstance. Or certain places, St. Anne River Lakes are like that. Gregory has some flat areas or shoals like that. So these techniques will work definitely. In fact, I had a day out at Hesperia one time where they wanted a 16th ounce right on the bottom and a little bit faster. So these things work out here. It's not just a Sierra thing or some of these other cool lakes I get to go to up north or in other states. These techniques translate all over. As like I always say, the trout are just the trout. And they're going to do what trout do on any given day or any given hour. They may change their mind. So just another tool for the toolbox. Keep it in the back of your mind. If you're pretty sure the fish aren't around and you're doing all the normal things that's not working, try going a little faster. Try changing up your speed and your retrieve and see if you get some more bites. And with that, if you want any of the fine products I use on this channel, there's a QR code right up here. So if you want to check out the Golden State Fishing custom baits, the Katana rods, the Waterland sunglasses, the True Dave or the High Sea waders or boots, just click on this QR code. It'll take you to a link tree, which has all the hyperlinks with discount codes. And all of the stores on there on the link tree have discounts, and some of them are up to 15% off. So give them a look. And like I always say, if I didn't use their products and didn't have faith in them, I wouldn't put them on the channel. So go give them a look, and it's really, really good stuff. As always, give us a like and a subscribe if you like what you saw here. If you didn't, I appreciate you watching this long. And coming up next, really don't know. There's so many places to go. I know Calaveras is stocking the county park lakes, which is awesome. SD and some of the guys went up to Mojave Narrows, I believe, and just had a great day, real quality fish. So super happy about that. Right after Thanksgiving is when I start going back to St. Anne River Lakes. Hesperia's back open. It's pretty much wherever you want to go, you can go now. Everywhere's got trout. I can't think of a lake that isn't open to trout fishing yet. So I'm going to get out there. I just don't know where I'm going to go. If you guys want me to go somewhere, please leave a comment or a suggestion, and I will look into it, especially if I haven't been there before. Because I believe there are a few lakes around here I still haven't been to, so it'd be good to check those out. So hope to see you all out there, and tight lines.